Hey guys, John Wooten here with the Stock Market Cheers Podcast, and I'm pretty pumped today to share with you a concept that's sort of a difficult pill to swallow, but it's kind of a really important one, especially when you're starting out. If you don't really get this concept, it's tough because, you can have a lot of upside, but you can also have a lot of downside, and it all kind of comes down to this one simple concept. So I'm super pumped to share it with you. I wish someone told me this a long time ago because it kind of would have helped me. I think especially like when you're starting, you have to have consistent profits to have reliable growth, and as soon as you have that, like, confidence explodes and the results that you can create just are magnified exponentially. So I think that's kind of really the power behind this concept, and I'm super pumped to talk about it. So I will see you after the intro. So the big question is this: how do investors like us, who don't have a PhD in finance or millions to start investing, how do we grow our bank accounts to build real savings and retirements and yet still have the time to do what we really love? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answer. Awesome. All right. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. This morning was so awesome. We had this one trade on Palm, and then, dude, it was so crazy. They broke through the VWAP and they closed above the VWAP, so I got in. But then I got stopped out. 3 minutes later, they went back down below. So sometimes you get fake outs like that, and you just take a minimal, a 2% loss. And then after that, I was trading BILI, and that's when BILI. I barely remember the tickers ever. The tickers don't matter, but this trade made me remember this concept, and it's a really important concept because right now I got 9 freaking stock accounts. I'm trying to open up more and more and more. It's ridiculous to get around sort of the PDT rule, right? Because every account you open with every new broker under every new social security number or EIN or whatever, you get 3 day trades. So today I ran out of day trades, which kind of sucks. But I ran out after I made these trades. And so for me, I usually make 5, 6, 7, 8 trades a day. And so under the PDT rule, you can make 3 every week. I mean, that's kind of, anyway, you guys know this stuff. I'm just kind of showing, because this is where most people are starting, right? Most people aren't starting with 25 grand. And so, so right now, there's this sort of this, fear of I only want to hit really, 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 really big stocks because, I only have a couple of day trades, so I don't want to quote unquote waste a trade on something that's going to be small. But then I remembered it's really important to just make money, because money is money. And if you can make, 3-4% in, freaking 5 minutes, that's what most people aim for a yearly return on some of the bonds nowadays. And so I gotta understand, you have to always stay grounded in this understanding that if you see a very, 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 very obvious pattern and it's super clear that whoa, I can make money with that. Sometimes even if it's today BILI was a $20 stock, and usually $20 stocks, they're super cool. Anything under 25 usually has a lot of potential. This one though, just based on how tight the VWAP bands were, the upside on the trade was 7% tops, pretty much exactly, just based off of, it was an interior Bollinger W setup, which worked out really, really well. I got in at the breakout and I sold at the peak, and I made 5, 6, 7%, scaled out of it at the end. You take profits as you go, but it was 7% at the top, right? So my average profit on it was 10 on a 500, which is 2 or 3%. So I made 2 or 3% kind of to wash for today. But usually I aim for those trades that make 50, 60, 70%. But in reality, you're not going to get those every single day. Last week and the week before were crazy. I was out of town on ski trip. You guys know this. And so because of that, I wasn't trading, and 5 stocks doubled, which was just absolutely crazy. So it's interesting because you realize that a majority of the gains come from a minority of the stocks, but you should still trade the ones that are going to make you money anyway. And so that's sort of the difference, and that's the separation. That's the mental shift I want to share with you today, is this idea of hitting home runs versus making it to first base. Because in reality, you want to have these amazing trades. They're going to explode and double your money, triple your money, quadruple your money, and that's awesome. But at the same time, you got to understand that those aren't always there. And even if you're potentially limited, it sucks. I mean, it sucks to have a limited number of trades, but even if you are limited, obviously there are ways around that. You got to find ways around that. I'm working on getting around it. I've got international brokers in the works right now, which is kind of exciting. But it's really, really critical that if you see that opportunity, you take it. If there's that slow ball coming through, crossing home plate, and it's like, I know I could hit this ball and it would probably go kind of far, but not that far. Like, just hit the ball, a hit is a hit, and getting on base is getting on base. That's the objective, that's the goal. And you don't have to hit it, out of the park every single time. While that should be your goal, you got to understand, like, that's not going to happen every single day. And so it's really, really, really important that you just take those consistent profits when you can, even if you're only making, 4 or 5% or something small like that. Like, that's still solid money. And the phrase I really, really like is money is money, and especially with trading, it takes the same amount of effort. Here's the interesting part, okay? It takes the same amount of effort to buy a winning stock as it does to buy a losing stock. And, for me, like, I would much rather get into a winner, even if it's going to be, a smallish winner, than to be in a loser or to waste my time looking at stuff that's not going to move anywhere, because I'm still going to be there, from 9 to noon, or at least pretty far into it. And, it just doesn't make sense to just walk away, because you can have some really, really, really great opportunities to pop up at like 10:15 or 10:20. And especially if you have, the ability to trade, like, just take those easy trades and make easy money. Even if it's not like 40%, it's still solid profit. So that's kind of the distinction here, because what happens is when you're starting out, it's really critical to make money at the beginning. Like, if you lose, Warren Buffett talks about this all the time, this idea that, like, it's tougher to recover from a 50% loss. You have to, like, double your portfolio to recover from 50% loss. And so, as long as you're not losing money, any amount of growth is phenomenally great, because you're avoiding sort of, if you go down, you have to go up a lot more to get back up. And so it's definitely critical to have sort of consistent growth, especially when you're starting out, because you want to have, the beginning is really the most crucial time period in a portfolio. And so that's why it's important to sort of invest in your education, but also to take small wins, because small wins at the beginning, are the most powerful compounding tools, because they're going to grow your long-term portfolio. And most importantly, it's going to allow you to achieve so much more, down the road, because you have just that little bit more at the beginning that grows and grows and grows and grows into a lot more at the end. And so that's the goal. And even if it doesn't look like it's that big, I think I probably lost $3 today. And like that's like nothing, right? And so it's just a wash. But like, you've got to stay disciplined with the small numbers, because if you don't stay disciplined with the small numbers and you can't master the small numbers, even though I only have 3-day trades, like, I better crush it with those 3-day trades, because if I can't crush it with 3, then, how am I going to crush it with an infinite amount? And that's sort of the point, right, is that you have to sort of stick with it. And, you're bettering your skills in one aspect of it, but the more important aspect is you're growing your portfolio and you're making money. And that's sort of the goal, is that you make the money, even no matter what. So that was sort of the big message today, and a little bit of a distinction. It's a tough one to take down. I know when I was starting out, I always wanted to have, like, double my money every single day, and like, that's insanely cool, and it totally happens. I know, but I turned like $500 in like 50 grand this month, and I think that is just absolutely phenomenal, super insane, really, really cool. And like, that's sort of where you get, like, once you can actually get past the BDT rule, it's just like this whole thing opportunity. It's absolutely phenomenal and just really inspirational. So I am super, super pumped for the new year. I don't know when I'm uploading this, but it's like the 2nd, which is super fun. And it's just going to be like an amazing year. I'm so pumped up, and I hope you guys are pumped up. It's going to be awesome. And I'm thinking about changing the intro song and the outro song to a new one for the new year. So we'll see. Maybe that'll happen. Maybe it won't. I'm excited about it. I love all this music so much. So I hope it helps you guys too. Helps you guys focus. Helps you guys stay on top of it, because that's the goal. I listen to music constantly when I'm trading, because it really is just like this massive tool that you can use, sort of get yourself in the right emotional state to make the best investments possible. And really, that's all we're here for. So with that said, guys, go out there, apply it, absolutely crush it. Make sure to take those trades if they're going to make you money, even if it's just a little bit of money. Money is money. Just take it. Take the single hit. Make the money. Move on to the next day. Keep it green. Today's a green day. Every day's a green day. Absolutely crush it. And so thank you guys so much. I will see you in the next episode. Yay! Bye! Want more stock market secrets? If so, you can get your free copy of my best-selling book, 9 to Noon. You get your free copy plus $11,176 of unannounced bonuses it took me years to uncover, completely for free at 9tonoonsecrets.com. Inside 9 to Noon, you'll find the top 38 secrets you can use double your portfolio every 2 years and make upwards of 10% daily.